Hi, I'm Shuichi Murakami. Welcome to the Designing Landscape Form series. In the previous episode, we learned that two-dimensional shapes contain limitless potential for constructing three-dimensional space. The transformation exercise is one of the ways to expand your vocabulary of forms. In this episode, we will learn methods for designing indoor and outdoor spaces as an integrated whole. By understanding the connection between inside and outside in geometric and visual terms, we will discover hints for creating a richer spatial experience. Here, the term indoor refers to the inside of a building such as a house, while outdoor refers to the space outside the building. Because indoor spaces are enclosed by roofs and walls and outdoor spaces are not, the degree to which they are affected by rain, wind, and other environmental factors differs. Perhaps for this reason, it is common to design indoor and outdoor spaces separately. On the other hand, instead of separating indoor and outdoor spaces from the beginning, there is another way of thinking. We can first see the entire site as a single continuous space, plan how people will live and act within it, and then decide which parts should be indoors and which should be outdoors. Gary Ekbo, one of the leading landscape architects of the 20th century, expressed this idea clearly in his writings. For those who wish to learn more, I recommend reading his book, The Art of Home Landscaping. Of course, we cannot remain completely exposed to rain and wind. When it becomes necessary to separate part of the outdoor area as an indoor space, how can we still allow people to experience the entire site as one continuous space? The key lies in maintaining visual and physical continuity. For example, if the walls that define the indoor space are transparent like glass, people inside can see the outside, and people outside can also see the inside. This transparency gives a strong sense of unity between indoors and outdoors. Likewise, if the indoor walls have openings large enough for people to pass through, movement between indoors and outdoors becomes possible. The freer this movement is, the closer we come to an integrated use of both spaces. By keeping this continuity of viewing and movement in mind, let us look at how pioneering landscape architects create a sense of unity between indoors and outdoors in their works. One of the spatial design strategies for creating unity between indoors and outdoors is the integration of floor surface. By using the same floor material for both interior and exterior areas, not only is the continuity of movement maintained, but a strong visual sense of unity is also achieved. In the Donnell Garden, one of the masterpieces of Thomas Church, the lounge and the pool terrace share the same concrete paving. Through the fully open sliding glass doors, we can enjoy the continuous grid joints that extend seamlessly from the interior to the exterior. The grid lines, set at a certain angle to the orientation of the lounge, create a dynamic spatial impression. In addition to the floor, the integration of the side can also be mentioned. By allowing a single-sided element to penetrate from the interior to the exterior, a continuous spatial relationship is created across the boundary between indoors and outdoors. In the Donnell garden, the wooden bench inside the lounge extends out to the pool terrace. Furthermore, the stone-faced retaining wall of the pool terrace continues back in the lounge, reinforcing the unity of the two spaces. In addition to the floor and side, the integration of canopy can also be mentioned. By extending the indoor canopy outward, a continuous spatial connection is created that spans both inside and outside. The James Rose residence, one of the James Rose major works, originally linked three interior rooms with a series of wooden louvers that extended the canopy outward. Their shadows added delicate accents to the garden spaces between the rooms. Later renovations altered this feature, and the house now presents a different appearance. From the works of pioneering landscape architects, we can understand that the key to create unity between indoors and outdoors lies in setting the boundaries lines of the floor, side, and canopy independently of the distinction between inside and outside. These boundaries can be freely drawn, not limited to the highly abstract forms shown here. It is even possible to create spaces where the boundary lines of the floor, sides, and canopy are intentionally shifted from one another. For those who wish to learn more about the works that inspired today's lesson, the Donnell Garden and the James Rose Residence, I recommend reading the books shown on the screen. Here is today's summary. The foundation of designing indoor and outdoor spaces as a unified whole is to begin with the perspective that the entire site is one continuous space. Next, the key is to create visual spatial continuity through thoughtful design of the boundaries between indoors and outdoors. On that basis, the boundary lines of the floor, side, and canopy should be set independently of the distinction between inside and outside. By aiming for an integrated design of indoor and outdoor spaces, your spatial vocabulary will grow richer, moving away from the idea of a box placed on a site toward a design in which the boundaries between inside and outside become beautifully ambiguous. In the next episode, we will move on to the theme Let's Design Ambiguous Forms. Here, the term ambiguous does not mean something vague or unclear. Rather, it refers to a condition in which clearly different situations can be perceived at the same time. Let us learn design methods for creating spaces that, although physically single, can be experienced as if multiple spaces coexist within them. See you in the next episode.